today we're gonna move to the next chapter, which is chapter 5. In this chapter, we will cover the critical services. It include search engine, DNS, mail server, etc. Okay, let's start with the introduction. By definition, critical network services refers to the critical component or basic component that allow the proper functioning of network, especially internet. This very important in order to maintain the security, to make sure the service are reliable, and to also make sure the availability of the network. Because these services are considered no longer a luxury item, but it is very common and considered crucial for modern society and economies. Okay, when we talk about critical network infra, that includes search engines. Of course, the number one search engine is Google. Bing and Yahoo are also a very big thing. DNS, yes, that is very essential. Mail server, CDN, and cloud computing. Most of the users they directly interact with they can directly interact with search engine and cloud computing, because mail server, for example, CDN and DNS, these services work behind the scene. Normally users simply for example, if they are looking for something, they use the search engine, or they want to store their file, for example, they can use cloud computing services. Even a mail server, the direct interaction is through web browser, where user send and receiving email through web application, but the mail server is working behind the scene. In other services that are considered very new, generative AI, applications such as ChatGPT, Midjourney, and PhD. These are some example of services provided by in the category of generative AI. So this is one of the new services that are considered critical in order to speed up some of the common tasks that need to be done by those require these services. Others include authentication, authorization service, network time protocol. This one is considered critical as well, because it is used to synchronize clock on computer and other network device. That is why the clock time for your computer is always very accurate. Another services is certificate authority. This is to make sure document is valid. Um, SMTP this is hub in sending and receiving email. VPN, this service is also important, especially when it involves telecommunication that require privacy, require privacy or limited access. Moreover, there are also services that we call it interdependent network services. This one referring to the services that relying interconnectedness between different network services. It is very critical for to have a proper functioning of network services, because sometimes it is dependent on the proper functioning of other services. For example, DNS. DNS critical for web browsing, email, and internet-based application, because without proper DNS, web browsing or email services would not function properly. But DNS in turn also relying on or depending on other services. DNS relying on the ISP to function properly. Because if ISP experience any problem, it will affect the DNS, and then without proper function of service, the other services cannot function. Website and email services will be disrupted without proper functioning of the DNS. So that is what we call interdependent between network services. Another example of interdependence is in cloud computing and CDN. Cloud computing is relying on CDN to distribute and deliver the web content. Even though the user could be located geographically located very far apart. So if CDN having issue, then it will affect the availability of cloud-based services. Now, failure of any network service would impact many other operations. For example, business operation would be disrupted. Of course, breakdown in the communication, and also cyber security risk. For example, if the DNS is compromised, it could lead to redirection of traffic or phishing attack and other breach. Indirectly, it also have a direct impact to economy and public safety risk as well. For example, emergency services such as 1911 that require good network or telecommunication services. Now the next thing need to be considered is cascading failure. So it refers to a scenario when one network fail, it leads to another failure, especially when there is interdependent among the network services. If one service fail, it would trigger a chain of reaction that will affect other services, and most of the time it will lead to bigger disruption to the entire network. Cascading failure, for example, overload and congestion, it can cause delay, hardware or even software failure. For example, if the router suddenly fail, it will affect the entire network, because a router is very critical in routing. Of course, cybersecurity breach and other bigger disruption as well. For example, in Malaysia, in 2013, for example, because of the fire at the telecommunication facility, it leads to disruption to the internet and phone services in the surrounding area in Johor. The next event is in 2015. Technical glitch leads to disruption to payment system, and it affect transaction a million, in the number of million. It is actually because of fault in the network in Farah that support the payment system. So because of that, people cannot proceed to ATM to withdraw, or even online banking cannot be done, simply because of the technical error in the payment system. Another fire at telecommunication facility in Sebajaya. Now this is not only in certain part, and this one leads to bigger widespread internet disruption. And the following year in KLIA, this one simply because of network failure, it leads to flight delay, and many other airport services cannot be done because of IT system no longer functioning properly. So in network analysis, we can use what we call centrality metric. So we can use these metrics to analyze the network, especially in terms of interdependence between the network. So the first metric is degree centrality. This this one is used to measure the number of direct connection or link that any network has within a network. The next measure, our metric is between centrality. This is a measure on the extent to which a node lie on the shortest path between other node. So the distance between any between nodes. The third metric is eigenvector centrality. This one measure the importance of any node, and its importance is measured based on the importance of its neighboring its neighbor. So these are the three metrics that can be used for network analysis, especially in analyzing the critical services. How to measure degree centrality? You can use this formula. So you have KV that refer to the number of edge incident to node V, where n is the total number of network in the total number of nodes in the network. Okay, the next matrix between centrality. So this is to measure the shortest path between nodes. So the correlation is based on the number of shortest path the path pass through a given node. Eigenvector centrality. This is to measure the importance of any node in the network. So it rely on it is mostly affected by the importance of its neighboring node. So this one can be calculated by assigning a score to each node, and the score to neighbors as well. Okay, another terms to be considered when analyzing critical services is ranking of importance. Okay, so the top should be ISP, because this is the backbone of any internet, because it provides connectivity and managing access to user and business around the world. The next is DNS, because it is the services that manage the IP addresses. And the next is CDN. This one is commonly used to improve the web services. And then cloud computing and search engine. Okay, a flaw of robustness. This is another thing that need to be considered as well in network services analysis. So it refers to the ability of the network to maintain the flow of essential services when facing any disruption or attack. So the robustness, referring to on how good the services or how the services is affected if certain node or is removed or a group of node is removed. So this one rely on the network topology, the dependency between nodes, and also the dynamic of the resources or the services. So if the network is robust, or the flow of the is robust, so it should be able to maintain the flow of services even when certain link or certain node is removed or disrupted. So this can be done because the network has the ability to reroute flow to by providing alternative pathway, or simply trigger load redistribution or backup system. In terms of node centrality attacks, this is one of the type of attack that specifically targeting the most central node, because the central node is a node that have the most connection. So if that node is attacked, it means it will give the maximum impact. So that is why node centrality attack is very dangerous, because it specifically attack the node that have the highest number of link to other node. So it is very simple. The attack first need to identify the most central node, and it is normally measured by degree centrality, between centrality, and also eigenvector centrality. So this one is need to be considered very carefully, the node centrality attack, because it is very effective, since it allow cascading failure in the network. Because once it is successfully carried out, it leads to major or widespread disruption. So any implementation to protect the most critical network is very critical to avoid or to minimize not the effect of node centrality attack. Okay, how AI is used in network services? Yeah, it can be done by simply providing sensor or use AI algorithm to minimize the impact of any failure in network services. So we can use AI to optimize the use of resources. It can also be used for detection and responding to cyber threat, whether in real time or even offline. So AI also can be used for flow optimization or even rerouting, traffic rerouting. This is some of the challenge in critical network services. It includes cyber security threat, interdependent system, legacy system, human error, and lastly limitation in terms of resources.